About a year ago, I finally bought my own house and my first tank at the same time. And a few months later, I had 12 tanks running. I thought about the business opportunities of the hobby from the start, which partly determined the fish, the shrimps and plants I picked up, and in no way reduced my enjoyment of the hobby. On the contrary even. I looked for the current trends and found out about Neocaridina shrimps. Those breed quite fast and require a very simple setup, and on top of that are very beautiful. What a better choice to start. This was the main pillar of this new business. I'm living in the suburb area between two quite big French cities, which mean here people have quite bigger homes than in cities, so they have more space for their aquariums and they have more budget for their hobbies because cost of living here is much cheaper. To test the market and check the demand, nothing simpler. I just left a few free advertisements on websites equivalent to Craigslist or eBay, and within a few days I already had multiple potential clients. Of course, I didn't have anything for sale at the time, so I shut down the ads and went to work. After a few months, I had a stable setup up and running. Mistakes aside, each 20-gallon tanks cost me about $200 each, fully equipped, which could be reduced even further, but I didn't try it very hard. My actual setup is sustaining various Neocaridina shrimps as well as aquatic plants for both beginners and experienced hobbyists. I also have guppies, but so far I didn't have so much success on breeding quality guppies. Now for the numbers. My total actual setup could bring me up to $2,000 a month or $250 per tank, on local demand only. Shrimps usually breed faster in my 20 gallons than the local demand asks for. I could increase this number if I shipped nationally, which I don't. I will tell you why later. My tanks are also heavily planted with aquarium plants. I can sell up to $500 a month of plants locally. At the moment, 8 of my 12 running tanks are dedicated to shrimp breeding, and all are heavily planted with about 30 different plant varieties in total. The cost of running those is about $100 a month for electricity, water, CO2, food and various complements. Concerning labor, I spend on average half an hour a day plus 15 to 30 minutes per order. Shrimp costs here range from $1 a piece to more than $5 a piece depending on the grading. On average, my earnings are of about $50 an hour for doing something I love and would do anyway if I didn't earn anything from it. As for shipping, I could have earned more by shipping, but this requires 4 to 6 more time per order to chat with the clients about the address, the payment method, if the coming weather is good enough for the shrimps, but also making the packaging. For now, my current setup can just sustain the local demand and I would have to get more tanks if I wanted to ship. For now, 12 tanks is the most I feel comfortable having without it becoming a burden. Shipping also involves about 20% of mortality of my shrimp, which I love. All in all, shipping isn't really worse for me as I have many more hobbies and businesses to take care of. Keep in mind each region has its prices, its competition and even its strengths. Neocaridinas are very profitable for me, but it might not be for you where you live. However, you probably have other great opportunities you can look into. There are many fishes out there to breed, but also plants. You could also be selling rocks or wood for aquascaping, which can be harvested for free if you know where to look for. Just make sure you don't pick it from nature or from someone else's property without asking for permission. You could also be selling your services to maintain or even design aquariums. Check out the channel of Yoris, which make amazing content. You could build custom tanks or even furniture for aquarium if that's your thing. Check the Per Design channel for inspiration about that. And plenty more opportunities I didn't think of. I wish you happiness in your hobbies and in your work, and I see you next time.